So they don't have any patience to go through the entire Vedas and find out mutual comparison, contrast, etc. And what is finally Vedanta telling us to do as an ultimate, fundamental or wholesome position? This kind of a discussion and verification they don't undergo, as a result of which they remain deluded. They simply go on arguing one stand in a partisan manner. Nimi's question was, what about those people who do not worship Lord Hari? What happens to them? So just see, the answer is very specific. Why are they not able to worship Lord Hari? What is the reason? Why that supreme devotion is not blessing them? It does not grip their mind. So the causes he is explaining very well. Those people who disbelieve, they disbelieve, okay. What about the people who believe and practice the Vedic religion? Are they also sufficiently devoted? Do they have the devotional purity, the devotional elegance, excellence, restraint, serenity, etc.? They don't have. What is the reason? There is some basic delusion and ignorance operating in them. They are believers to the core, but with their belief, they are distorted. They are missing the goal. A lot of time is spent by Chamasa in explaining the proposition. Vipro Rajanya Vaishyauja Haref Prapta Padandigam Shaudena Janmanathabi Muhyanti Amnayavadinaha. It is true that they are votaries of Vedas. And Vedas are a treasure of spiritual wisdom, philosophical wisdom. But you have to read the Vedas in whole. And you have to find out what are the evaluations made by the Vedas at different stages of the very composition. It is true, they are enjoining a number of ceremonies and rituals. But they are also discussing the futility of these rituals in the Upanishads. And they stress upon the purity of the mind, the ethics and morality of behavior. All these things are discussed. Somehow they get caught up in the rituals, and the very ritualistic performance makes them egoistic. Their vision is clouded. A lot of time is spent. Just see, something very, very important. It is not sufficient if we are believing, if we are believers, if we are votaries of the Vedas. Being votaries of the Vedas, are you pure-hearted? Is your mind gentle? Are you considerate? Do you, in thought, word or action, do any harm to the others? What exactly is supreme devotion demanding from you, expecting from you? Are you lofty in your spirit, in your thinking, in your goal, in your identification? These are questions to be raised. So here he says, Shautena janmanathapi muhyanti amnayavadinaha. They swear upon the Vedas. Whatever the Vedas say, they swear upon the pronouncements. And then they start doing things in a very cruel manner, in a very unmindful manner. So he is explaining, listen to it. Karmanyako vidastabdha murkha panditamaninaha vadanti chadukan mudha yaya madhya girotsukaha. Our Vedas also give an opportunity for that. The ritualistic portion is so specific in its pronouncements that many, after reading the ritualistic portions, they get deluded by. Karmani, akovidah, stabdha. These are all very, very critical words. Words which are coined, which are used with a view to condemn the attitude of the ritualists. Karmani, akovidah. They really don't understand why are the Vedas enjoining a number of rituals to be performed by householders. How is each ritual to be performed, and what is the goal? When Vedas speak about a heaven, is heaven the last thing in human life? How far will it last, and where will it be available? There is no evaluation in their mind. Reason and logic are not applied. They don't go to read the Vedas up to the level of the Upanishads. And what the Upanishadic statements and pronouncements are, they are not prepared to consider. See, you read a book of 500 pages, and it is divided into 4 sections. Section A tells you something. Section B tells you something. Section C tries to evaluate whatever is said in A and B. And finally, in section D, you find the ultimate evaluations of the author and the book. But these people are reading it only half and then start swearing upon Vedas have said this, have said that. Karmani akovidaha. They are not very skillful in doing anything. A Veda karma is to be done for the purity of the performer. Purity of the performer. Vajashravas performed a huge yaga. And while the occasion came for giving gifts, he selected all bad things in the house. And chanting the holy Veda mantras, he started giving. The son was very much affected, Nachiketas. Then he went to the father and asked him, "What is this? Whom are you going to give me to?" Then in anger he said, "I will give you to God Yama." That is how Nachiketas went there. Can you imagine a father performing a holy sacrifice? And instead of imbibing holiness, radiating and displaying it, he was emitting anger and hatred, intolerance towards the son. And what did he say? "I want you to die. Go to Yamapuri." And the son went there. Just imagine, a holy sacrifice, its performer is doing the most holy act. Unholy act, not holy, unholy act. So where is the holiness of the performance? There is no holiness at all. The holiness should be in your mind. The mind should be made holy. If it is already holy, it should become more holy. It should become most holy. No such elegance is there. Karmani, akovidaha, stabdhaha. Don't say much. The Vedas have said this, I will do it. So right from the beginning they are conceited. They are proud. They are arrogant, blinded. They have the money to do. They have the will also to do. So they will hire any kind of a preceptor, any kind of a ritvik, give him enough and do it. But in their actual conduct, interactions in the world, they will be different. Murkhaha panditamaninaha maninaha. Murkhaha panditamaninaha. Murkhaha. What does it mean? Murkhada? Foolishness. Idiots of the first order. Panditamaninaha. Nevertheless, they think we are scholarly, we are wise, we are erudite. Murkhaha panditamaninaha vadanti chadukan mudha. And they will speak very well. Vedas have very good mantras. Those mantras they will be able to utter very well. Like we have our Rudra, Chamaka, etc. They will utter it very well. So everybody will think, oh, he is very scholarly, he is great, he understands everything. And Chadukan Mudhaha, remaining deluded, they will speak pleasant and sweet words. Yaya Madhya Girotsugaha. Very skillfully they argue on the pleasures gainable by the rituals. By performing the ritual, this is offered, that is promised, this I will get. Perform Somayaga, you will get heaven. Perform Somayaga, you will get heaven. Vedas also are very clever. When will you get the heaven? Not here and now, before your death, but after the fall of the body. After your body falls, whether you will go to heaven or not, how will you know? How many people have gone to heaven? Have we got any communication from the heavenly residents anytime? So it is a promise, that's all. It is written there. Can it be verified? No, it cannot be verified. But still they swear upon it. This is what is happening. So everybody tries to read one sentence or the other from the Vedas and argues in his own manner to suit his own taste. Ultimately, what is the situation? They want to cling to this life. They adhere to, they want to overindulge in sensory pleasures, and all the interpretations of the Vedas and performance of the rituals are only as a help, as a cover for it. Karmanya govida stabdhaha murkhaha panditamaninaha vadanti chadukan mudha yayamadhya girotsugaha. Mundakopanishad very specifically speaks about this condition. You know, I happened to read it in Calcutta, as perhaps I have told you, I don't remember. When I was reading it, it was greatly unfolding and enlightening. Avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira pandidam manyamana janghanyamana pariyanti mudha andhe naiva niyamana yathandha. Anybody who has read this, I think his perception, insight will have to change. Avidyayam antare vartamana. It is true that they are Vedic votaries, very good. But after having access to Vedas, having learned the Vedas, are they really doing what the Vedas ask them to do? No, not at all. Because they have not taken the full content and message of the Vedas. Take the Upanishads. This is Mundaka Upanishad. The Mundaka Upanishad condemns the ritualistic indulgence, where ignorance and delusion are clung to. Avidyayam antare vartamana. In spite of their acclaimed Vedic life, they are actually living in the field, in the quagmire of avidya, ignorance. That knowledge part never occurs to them. They are not enriched by the knowledge. They are only clinging to the performance prescribed by the Vedas. If the performance alone was necessary, why is the Aranyaka portion written? Why is the Upanishadic portion evolved? The hymns and the rituals constitute only half the Vedic text. The remaining half is in the Aranyaka and the Upanishads. That they are overlooking. They are not prepared to be guided by that. So be guided by whatever suits you. But if you believe in the Vedas and Vedas are sanctified, you should search for what is the ultimate statement and evaluation of the Vedas. Go for it. That they are not going. That is the trouble. Avidyayam antare vartamana. In spite of the acclaimed rituals they are performing, they have a sacred thread that is increased. At marriage you make it 2 times, thereafter you make it 3 times. Everything is okay. They also are Vedic people. But do they have that Vedantic discrimination, Viveka? Are they able to focus their interest, concern and attention on the inmost self? Do they realize that they are the Satchidananda soul? If you are the soul and you are Satchidananda, why do you look for a heaven? Where is this heaven? Somewhere in the horizon. When will you get it? After death. Then you eat after death. If you want to eat, you are hungry now, you immediately want food. Similarly, let your heaven be right here. And what is true heaven? Sreemad Bhagavatam says, when Sattva-guna increases, it is sufficiently in ascendance, then you experience heaven. When Tamo-guna is on the ascendance, then you experience hell. So these are also statements of the Vedas, but they don't go up to them, read them and understand it. So it is actually an ignorant and a deluded clinging to the Vedic life. Pandidama avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira pandidam manyamana. Though they are really in the field of ignorance, according to the Vedas themselves, they feel, I am a scholar, I am a Vedic scholar. That is how we have a number of Vedis. What? Dvivedi, Trivedi and Chadurvedi. What does it mean? One who knows 2 Vedas, Dvivedi. Trivedi means one who knows 3. And the other one, Chadurvedi, one who knows all the Vedis. We have such Dvivedi, Trivedi and Chadurvedis now, a large number of them. May not be thousands and lakhs, but certainly we have hundreds of them. Why are they retaining this name? Because they don't know the Vedas. Even then they call themselves Chadurvedis. See, this is how heredity comes. Avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira pandidam manyamana. Oh, we are scholars. Don't tell us anything. We have our Vedic practices. We cling to them. That's everything. Don't tell me anything more. What Vedas say, everywhere, are always literally true. Jankhanyamanaha pariyanti moodhaha. Actually, they get tormented. Their minds are tormented by desires. Not merely for things in this world, in the other world also. But they don't stop to think, where is this other world? How will that be? Even the earth, it enables us to inhabit in the earth. But can you live in the sun, in the moon? Can you live in the sun? How many earths are there in the surrounding sky? Then where is heaven going to be? How will you go there? With this body you cannot go. After you have left the body, in which manner will you go? Will you have sensory organs to see? No, you cannot see. But the Shastras say, what do they say? If you go to heaven, heavenly beings do not have eyelids. So you can always see God. What is this? These are all beautiful statements, that's all. For children, not for rational people, grown-up people. Pariyanti moodhaha. They apparently think that they will go there, then come back, go there and come back. Already you have gone and you are come back now. And what is the benefit you have got additionally? After having lived in the heaven, you will have to fall. When you fall, it will be a precipitous fall. Fall from a great height. Here we fall, only 6 feet we will be down. There it is 6,000, 6 lakhs, 6 million, we don't know how many. Andhenaiva niyamana yathamdhaha. It is just like a blind man being led by a blind man. There is no difference at all. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunnyo Bhavarjuna. The entire Vedas are dealing with Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, their properties, their combinations, their outcomes, etc. Arjuna, I want you to become indifferent to the 3 gunas. Nistraigunnyo Bhavarjuna. So even the Vedic words and Vedic promises have their relevance only within the 3 gunas. And here and now, we must be able to rise above the gunas and find our focus in the self and the soul. Rajasa ghora sankalpaha kamuga ahimanyavaha dambhiga maninaf papaha vikhasanti achyuta priyan. See, these are statements which you should read and understand. Sreemad Bhagavata presents it. Rajasa ghora sankalpaha. By virtue of the influence, action of the Rajoguna, Sattva represents light, wisdom and happiness. Rajas represents passion and prejudice and all the activities that follow. So Rajasa, instigated by Rajas, Ghora Sankalpa. Are you following me, my dear viewers? Ghora Sankalpa. All their imaginations, thoughts, ambitions, aspirations, all of them are Ghora. Very fierce, very fierce. Sometimes cruel also, wicked also. Ghora sankalpaha, kamuga, ahimanyavaha. They are given to sexual pleasures. That indulgence is what they are very much after. Ahimanyavaha. They are just like ahimanyavaha. Cobras. Poisonous cobras. They are so angry, like a cobra. Ahimanyavaha. They are very hypocritical. Dambhikaha, maninaha, papaha. They have lot of arrogance, haughtiness. Are these qualities which are good for any human, anywhere in the world? So on the one side, their Vedic adherence and addiction are there. On the other hand, as a human individual, they have most unacceptable, objectionable and dangerous and wicked traits. Rajasa ghora sankalpaha kamuga ahimanyavaha dambhikaha maninaha papaha. Oh, very strong words. They are sinful, wicked people. Vikhasanti achyuta priyan. regarding the devotees, lofty people, ascetic people who ramble in this world, whatever feelings they have, vihasanti, they mock at them, they condemn them, they blame them. Running about. They don't find that devotion has a place in this world. And the devotion at one point of time will make you an ascetic, an austere person. See how Shugamuni is seated in front of King Parikshit. Parikshit was a great king, not an ordinary king. And he is seated there. The boy who sits in front of him, 16 years old, and he doesn't have a dress on his body. He doesn't want it. And from his mouth is flowing the nectar of Sreemad Bhaagavatam. Understand the greatness of the country. This is what happens. When Parikshit was fated to be bitten on the 7th day by a cobra, none in his family could come to rescue. He must also have performed a number of yajnas, Ashwamedha Yaga, etc. After having performed these Ashwamedha Yagas, Rajasuyas and so many other Yagas, if Parikshit was really blessed, he was really elevated, where was the question of putting a dead cobra on the neck of Shamiga? Where does it arise? And how is it that Shamiga Maharshi's son cursed him to be bitten by a cobra and to die in its poison? Did not this happen? Could the Ashwamedha Yagas protect him? No. What about the other Rajasuyas and the others? Nothing. What about the Ritviks and the priests? Could they give him any remedy? No. Then who is giving? A 16-year-old boy, an Avadhuta, a spiritual hippie. He has come there and see what is flowing from his mouth. So many of you are listening. Evaluate what you are hearing. What is this Srimad Bhagavatam? This boy is speaking and he is giving you a critical evaluation of Vedic scholarship, Vedic adherence and Vedic ritualistic pursuits. They generate a sense of arrogance in you. They make you poisonous. So much of wickedness and hatred are filling the mind. Everywhere only pleasure, sexual pleasure is dominant in the thoughts. Vihasanti achyuta priyan. What more, they are also ridiculing, mocking the lofty devotees of Lord Mahavishnu. Bhagavad Gita describes such people in a more elaborate manner. I wonder whether I should tell you all this. Because it is in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, I should say also. Understand that the world consists of a variety. And good people, noble people, magnificent souls are rare, but they are there. But the majority are different. So you have to choose your friends. Who should be your best friends? Choose them. The society will always remain an admixture. And you have to find. Everyone is to be judged by the friends he has. There is a proverb. Tell me who your friends are. I know what you are. Kamamashritya dushpuram dambhamanamadhanvidaha mohad grihitva asadgrahan pravartande ashujivrataha.